She got discouraged, and a couple of times she actually ran off the field to me and my wife and was crying. And she said, "I don't want to do soccer. This isn't fun. I'm not good." And she kept saying that, "I'm not good, Dad. I'm not good out there." And I had the same conversation with her probably a dozen times. I said, "Hey, this is your first practice. No one's perfect the first time they try anything. You need to practice and give yourself a little time to learn and put forth the effort before you could see yourself improve." Welcome back to another episode of the Unstoppable Mindset Podcast. I'm your host, Sean Michael Crane. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, please make sure, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, share my messages with people who need to hear them, people who want to be inspired, people who are going through tough times, people who want to be the best, those people who aspire to be one percenters like you and I. Share my message with them, right? I need your help. I can't do it all by myself. I tell you guys this all the time. God put it on my heart to change the world, but I'm just one man. I need you to help me do that. I need you to make an impact in your life as well. And we got to share positive messages with people, man. That's what it's all about. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. Something that will be applicable to you if you have children or just people that you want to inspire, how to get through to them, how to get them to take more action, how to have a positive effect on people. Right now, we're seeing in society, there's so much negativity all the time. If you watch the news, if you're on social media, maybe if you're just going to get a coffee down the street, a lot of people are negative, man. A lot of people aren't happy. They're not fired up. I hate being around negative people. I just can't stand it. I kill them with kindness, right? I'm going to be extra positive, extra enthusiastic. But anyway, the message that I want to share with you today it's something really special to me, man. I went to a parent-teacher conference the other day with my wife, Jessica, for my daughter, Scarlett, who's in kindergarten. And we were sitting there talking to our teacher, and I don't know how it came up. I think they were talking about how my daughter loves to go outside and climb on the monkey bars, and she'll swing on them, and she's really strong and athletic. And I think something happened one day where she was like slipping or struggling to do the monkey bars, and her teacher was talking to her, and Scarlett said, "I got to keep trying. I got to keep trying. I never quit. I never give up." And her teacher looked at her and she goes, "Oh, that's really good. Like, I like how you say that. Where'd you learn that?" And she goes, "That's what my dad's taught me." And dude, that was like one of the proudest moments of my life, because ever since Scarlett and Preston were young, and even Mason, I'm always doing everything I can to brainwash them. And what I mean by that is I want them to have the right values, the right mindset. I want to instill my beliefs and what I've been able to learn through trial and error in my own life. I want to pass it on to them so that they are prepared for this crazy, chaotic world. If you don't brainwash your children with positive thoughts, with positive beliefs, if you don't teach them how to be confident, if you don't teach them how to love themselves and to find certainty in who they are, and to be their own self, and to be a leader, and all these things that we know are right, if you don't teach them that stuff from an early age, society will impose their limiting beliefs, their fears, and their negativity upon your children. It might happen through other kids at school, even teachers. It might happen with family members and close friends. And as they get older and they're exposed to this world, if they're not prepared to handle this, if they're not already instilled with the right values and core beliefs, they're going to be vulnerable. And I know a lot of kids grow up and they are vulnerable to the external world. They start to be influenced by other kids early on, right? And then they start to see things on TV or nowadays in social media. Then they see their friends doing certain things. And maybe somebody at school says a negative remark, or they're in sports and they don't have a good game. Or maybe a girlfriend breaks up with them or cheats on them, whatever. And all of a sudden they're exposed to defeat. They're exposed to what it's like to feel like a failure, or to have a negative thought about themselves, whether it's their own thought or what somebody else says about them. In those moments, my job and my mission as a father and leader for my family is to ingrain and instill strength and certainty and these core beliefs in my children that will armor them in those moments, because I can't protect them from all that stuff. But what I can do is focus on how I'm raising them now in these critical developmental ages. Preston's 4, Scarlett's 5. Mason's already 14, so a lot of his core beliefs are instilled. But I'm doing my job every single day to shape and mold his beliefs and to teach him what it means to be a good young man, teach him about character, honor, being a good person, right? And how that's one of the most valuable things that you can possess in this lifetime. But I think a lot of times we're talking to our children, we're trying to teach them these things, and we don't always know if those seeds that we're trying to plant are taking hold, right? We don't know if like they're really taking what we're saying and grasping it and understanding it. And sometimes it feels like we're just the things we're saying are falling on deaf ears, especially when our kids get older. But when they're young, man, like, I don't know about you, but when my kids are young, like 4 and 5 especially, they want to do and they believe anything I say. Like if I tell them that the world is flat, if I tell them that, like the moon is made of cheese, like whatever I tell them, if I'm convicted enough and I say it relentlessly and consistently, they will start to believe it. They will start to believe it because they believe in me and they haven't been jaded by the world. They haven't been exposed to things that make them doubt or second guess stuff yet. And so I know this, and I know how powerful the words that we say to our children are, and I know that they're like sponges and they will absorb everything we say. So when I say brainwash your kids, I mean it. If you don't brainwash your kids and instill the right values and the right morals in them, they're going to find them somewhere else. They might find them on TV or on YouTube or from other kids at school. Like, what belief system are you ingraining into their minds? This is so important. So for me, I want my kids to be hard workers. I want them to be good people. I want them to be honest. I want them to do the right thing. I want them to treat others as they want to be treated. I want them to be able to persevere through difficult circumstances. I want them to be determined and not quit, not give up when times get tough. These are all things we consistently talk about. So hearing my daughter's kindergarten teacher recite those positive affirmations that I've instilled into Scarlett back to us in our parent-teacher conference was so cool. Like, it meant so much to me because it showed me how impactful I am for my daughter. And we know this, but then when we have a moment like that, it really like reminds us, wow, okay, they're listening, they're absorbing, they're becoming just like us. And so I'm always telling them, hey, be a good person, be honest, treat others like you want to be treated. We talk about God and having faith on this journey a lot and how there's a plan for all of us. I want to instill that sense of faith in them in an early age. I didn't have that when I was younger, and when I met adversity, I felt like my life was over and I felt alone and hopeless because of it. But if you believe that there's a plan for you, even when you're going through difficult times, there's a lesson there. God's guiding you through this set of circumstances for a reason. You have that faith and you hold on to strength and hope that can get you through some really difficult times. And then always teaching my children about not taking the shortcuts in life. Work hard for what you want. Have a good attitude. And another example is recently Scarlett started doing soccer. At her first practice, she was kind of struggling to dribble the ball up and down the field, and she got discouraged. And a couple of times, she actually ran off the field to me and my wife and was crying. And she said, I don't want to do soccer. This isn't fun. I'm not good. And she kept saying that. I'm not good, Dad. I'm not good out there. And I had the same conversation with her probably a dozen times. I said, hey, this is your first practice. No one's perfect the first time they try anything. You need to practice and give yourself a little time to learn and put forth the effort before you could see yourself improve. And sure enough, so we got through that first practice. I kept just repeating this to her. She wanted to quit, she wanted to leave, and we wouldn't let her. Next practice, she got a little better at dribbling the ball. That first game, that second game, by the time she got to that third game, she scored a goal. In those fourth and fifth and sixth practices, she's aggressive. She's dribbling the ball up and down the field. She's having fun. She's laughing. And she'll come off the field and go, I'm getting better. Like, I'm having fun. And I always remind her, see, remember when you were discouraged at first and you kept at it and you didn't quit and you didn't give up? That's how you get better in life. You keep giving your best effort and you have a good attitude. Even if you're not doing as good as you want to do, you keep trying, and over time, you're going to improve. This is such an easy concept for us as adults to understand, and it makes sense. But how many of you actually apply that in your life? Like, how many of you quit and give up when times get tough? Or, you start trying to lose weight and get on your health journey, and then you don't see results that first month, and you start making excuses, and then you stop going. And this can go for so many different things in life. I think a lot of people have a tough time sticking things out and really putting forth the effort long enough to see the results materialize in their life. So it's funny that we teach these things to our children when they're young, but a lot of adults, they miss and lose sight of these concepts as they get older, and they kind of settle in life. I love teaching my children because it always reminds me of what's important, and that these basic fundamentals are still what's needed to be applied in our lives every day. Have a good attitude. Treat others like you want to be treated, right? Have faith. God has a plan for you. Never quit. Never give up. Like, keep putting forth your best effort. Have your best attitude. All of those things, whether we call them morals, beliefs, values, if you can live your life based on those values, you're going to have a really good life. You will. It might not be easy all the time, and you will still face adversity, but you're going to have this core belief, right? This like energy about you, this way of centering yourself, and this almost like this blueprint that you live your life by, right? When you have a blueprint to live your life by that's unwavering, It simplifies things. And then you just know this is who I am, this is what I stand for, and this is how I'm going to live. I think a lot of people don't have that growing up, especially nowadays. Like you see back in the day, there was a lot more traditional values instilled into society. There was more morals. There was more ethics. People have lost sight of that over time, and now they're vulnerable, man. They don't have hope. They don't have that inner strength. They don't have that moral compass. And that's why they get lost. That's why they end up turning to drugs and alcohol. That's why they lose themselves as they get older. And so for me, my number one job as a father and a leader for my family is to instill the right beliefs into my children and to teach them and to talk to them about why those beliefs and values are important and how they can help them in their lives, and then course correct them if they start to get off course. If Scarlett has a bad day at soccer, I got to talk to her and teach her the lesson, bring the lesson to her awareness. You know, if Mason's having a bad day at school and he's angry or upset, I got to spend time and talking to him. And I'm always teaching them these same lessons that I'm sharing with you about values, morals, all the stuff that we need to live and abide our lives by. And same with little Preston. So I just want to share that with you because there's been a couple incidents recently, whether it was with Scarlett's school teacher last week or at her soccer games, where I'm seeing the seeds that I've planted in her as a young girl start to come to fruition. And it's shaping her belief system, the way she carries herself, and how she approaches life. And I love that because I won't always be there to protect her and help her to understand what's right and wrong in that moment, but I can brainwash her, manipulate her for all the right reasons now so that she's armed with the right mentality and the right belief in herself to get through anything that she faces in life.